What are you watching?
Welcome back. It's a pleasure to have our first guest with us tonight on Argus Hamilton's Comedy Store tonight. I've been looking forward to meeting with you. Our good friend Mark Maron here at the Comedy Store, the host of one of the biggest podcasts in the world, WTF, labels this comic, the next big name in stand-up comedy. And he's working right now on his first Netflix special. He's got a project called Southern Kid, Tennessee Kid on Netflix. Is that right?
That is right.
Tennessee Kid on Netflix. Give it up for Nate Bargatze, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Nate, nice to have you here. Well,
Absolutely, man.
where in Tennessee you from?
Nashville. Born and raised. I moved a lot. I was in Chicago for a little bit, in New York for the Boast, and then was out here for a little bit, and then moved back. But one of the few, because now in Nashville, no one's from there.
Right.
Everybody's like moving there, and I'm the only one that's like local.
Well, did you start out doing stand-up in Nashville?
I actually moved to Chicago first, and then I did like some classes at Second City. I took a comedy class, like a stand-up class, and then just started there. With it was a big group of guys. It was like Hannibal Buress, Pete Holmes, Kumail Nanjiani. Like it was a bunch of guys all starting together. And then I moved to New York right when Comedian came out. Remember the Seinfeld?
Sure.
Movie Comedian?
Yeah.
Saw it in a movie theater by myself.
Really?
Yeah, not bad. I think that's an impressive thing. Like, got a ticket. Got a ticket by myself.
Oh, man. Did you start working the road from New York? Where did you develop all your material?
I started at Boston Comedy Club, a lot like Pete Holmes just had a show on HBO called Crashing. And so I barked. Pete Holmes got me handing out flyers where you would stand on the corner at Boston Comedy Club. And we would just stand outside, try to get people in, and then you would get to go up at 2 in the morning or something.
Right.
And really late. And then, so I just did that. So I just kind of came up through that circuit. A buddy of mine, Dustin Chafin, was there, and he helped us. Like, I don't know, we went from Boston Comedy Club to New York Comedy Club, and then you just slowly get going in the scene, and then try to get past at all the clubs and all that stuff.
When did the Jimmy Fallon people see you?
That was 2012. My first late night was Conan, which is a very fun Conan story that I say on stage. Is the first time I ever did it. They pick you up in they say it's a limo, but New York throws the word limo around pretty loosely. It's just a town car.
A town car.
And they take you to 30 Rock. This is my first late night appearance, like probably 2008.
Did you sit in the back seat?
I sat in the back. I did sit in the back seat.
Okay, good.
And I did commit all the way. I tried to make him move at first because I said, "There's a limo coming, so get out of here." So my wife went with me, and then right when they pull up to 30 Rock, you know, all the paparazzi are taking pictures of the celebrities that are taping Conan, and I'm just a comic, like no one's gonna know who I am. And I see them come to the car. They come to the door with all their cameras, and I was like, "This is not gonna be good at all." And I walked out, and then a guy just yelled, "It's nobody," and they all turned around.
That's New York, man.
And it was a digital camera. They could have just deleted the picture. Like, that's a nicer way to do it. Just pretend to take a picture.
How did the shot go on Conan?
It was good. I did it there. I did. So this was when he was in New York, late night with Conan.
Yeah.
And then I did it. That was the first one. I did the second one a few months later, and then I did 4 with Conan, and then I met Fallon at a comedy club called The Stand in New York.
Yeah.
He came down and just randomly saw me, and then I started kind of getting involved with him a little bit.
Right.
And then kept going.
Now, in that period, was it easy or difficult to make a living working the comedy club circuit in New York?
In New York, it was when I first moved there. I worked for FedEx, and I would. So I would just do deliveries, or then I switched to loading trucks, where it was you'd work from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And I would just stay up, and then go work at 5 to 10, then sleep all day, and then go do comedy, and then just kind of keep that going. And then you walk dogs, you just do whatever, you have to do all these other little jobs. And then I got married, and that helped. I was able to kind of just not have to work and just kind of start.
Did you marry into money?
No, but she had she worked in New York, and then she actually went to college.
Yeah.
As a smart person, and so I was kind of going off that. This is when you first start comedy, where you're making, you if you made $3 grand in a year, you're
Yeah.
like, this is all coming together.
Yeah.
This is all starting to pick up some steam. So it was great. Like I just started doing that, and then in New York you make money like the club circuit. You do spots just like the store. I mean, just like here at the store, and where like it's like Sunday to Wednesday. I think it's like $25 a spot, and then the weekends are like $75. It might have changed now, and you could do a bunch of them. So you would run around and add those up, and I think the most I did in one night, I did 7 in one night was the most.
Well, who were your comedy idols growing up?
I was a big Cosby fan when you could be, and Seinfeld's like my favorite.
Yeah.
And then Brian Regan was the first comic when I started. I started in 2003, and around that time, my dad gave me one of his CDs, and I heard it. So it was the first time I heard someone that I didn't know he could be that funny. Like I didn't know who he was.
Right.
So it was like your first time. You're like, oh wow, there's people I don't even know. And like Brian Regan live, his CD was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. So seeing him, and then as slowly as it come up, who you like changes, and you're seeing these. I mean, I was around with Bill Burr when he was like coming up, Patrice O'Neal. A lot of New York guys, and seeing them, and just it changed everything. You were just like, this is another planet.
So wow, you got an Untitled project you're working on now?
We're shooting a pilot for ABC.
Yeah.
Like just a family sitcom,
For the network?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to ask that now.
Yeah.
There's a million things.
Yeah.
It's like an Everybody Loves Raymond, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
In it, as of right now, I'll be playing like a stand-up comic, and we just moved. Because what I did is we were living out here in California, and then I started touring pretty hard.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of just staying on the road. So I moved my family back to Nashville, where all my family's at. Her family's near Nashville, so we could have help. We have a 6-year-old daughter, and, about to be 7, and then that's the idea of the show, is like we move back to Nashville. And
you moved back to Nashville?
Yeah. We're going to shoot it here, but it would be,
In the show, do you travel around though and then come back?
Yeah, I'm playing a comic, so we have that in there. Like, I'll be playing a stand-up. We open it wherever. We're planning to open it with a stand-up comic. Hopefully none of this changes.
Have you ever killed a crowd in front of your daughter?
Killed
a crowd?
Like done good in front of it?
Yeah.
It was like the opposite. Like, I hope that's what.
We LA people with our slang.
I know. She was at my Netflix taping. My Netflix thing, the Tennessee Kid, she opened, so she introduces me.
Oh.
So which we did it before a crowd was there, because I didn't think she would.
Did she kill?
She did great. She did. All she did was say, like, "Please welcome my daddy, Nate Bargatze." I tell a lot of stories.
Is she nagging at you now when we do this again?
Oh, now, yeah. She's got an agent. She won't talk to me. She did that. She's been. The first show she ever came to was in Washington D.C., and I remember seeing her and my wife walk in the back, and she sat down, and then I saw her. I could tell what she was doing. I saw her like whisper to my wife, because she wanted to leave, so they left. I mean, she stayed maybe 2 minutes. And it was like, this is good.
Oh, outstanding. Well, listen, I've got here that your father was a clown?
Yeah, he was a clown. He still is a magician.
Yeah.
He started as a clown when I was a kid.
Did he ever discipline you in his clown outfit?
Yes, I was yelled at by a clown. That's how I literally was. We have pictures of just him being a clown. Like, there's a picture of me when I was little in a swing, and then my dad's in the background as a clown. And it didn't mean to be in there, but it's just funny that he'd have to put makeup on.
Yeah.
And my first memory, I talk about it in my special, was I met the Easter Bunny. It was my first memory of my life. Is my dad pulled up into this old red Mazda we had. He's dressed as a clown, and the Easter Bunny was in the passenger seat.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was my welcoming.
So when you
nudge into comedy.
When do you shoot the ABC pilot?
August, middle of August.
Yeah.
Is what the
is this for January?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, that's the plan. I mean, it could all change. I've been you try to pitch shows, it takes a very long time.
Yeah.
To do it, and but the plan is, if they picked it up, it would be January, February.
What's interesting to me is you're one of the few comics that's actually still going toward the network route with
Yeah.
all of this, social media stuff going on.
Yeah. There's a whole new pattern. I mean, Netflix got a lot of shows. Everybody has shows. There's shows kind of everywhere, but I grew up watching sitcoms, so like I think I'd imagine in 20 years, I don't know, who knows what they're going to be doing, but like I loved Seinfeld, I love Everybody Loves Raymond, I love King Queens, I loved all these shows, and so I still like that. I talk a lot about stories and stuff that could be episodes as a family sitcom, so we'll see what happens. But
Well, we'll be looking for you, buddy.
Yeah,
and
thanks,
look forward
man.
to having you
I
back. You're a
appreciate it.
terrific guy.
Absolutely,
Nice to meet you,
man.
Nick.
Yeah.
Nate Bargatze, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wait a second, we're going to pause.